What is up, YouTube land? Thank you to our new subscribers who have been subscribing recently. It's cool. We're still not ever gonna put ads or monetize anything, so deal with it.
Yeah.
No! This is America! You have to make money off everything!
It definitely feels like it.
Well, kid, I don't feel like it. I have a good friend who really wants us to monetize because he saw that, like, you used to have 1,000 subscribers to monetize. I don't care. We could have 10,000. I wouldn't monetize. And now he said it's like 500, which we have that, right?
Yeah.
We have like 600.
We almost have 1,000.
Cool. Anyway, he's like, it's 500 if you do this, if you have this certain thing, like this amount of watch hours. And I was like, I don't care. I don't ever want to do that.
What does it matter? It's like,
yeah.
We're gonna make like 5 cents a day.
I mean, even if we made like $20 a week, I'd be like, nah, dude. Like, cause then it would be like work, and I'd have to be like, oh, I gotta go do my other job, which is editing YouTube videos. Oh God. And then I'd have to care about making thumbnails, and the thumbnails would all have to be us with our hands on our faces doing the soy face, essentially, because for some reason that always works.
It really does.
FF8 Part 13, Laguna in the future. So I mentioned at the very start of last time we're going to talk about a theory. We're not going to start that right now. We're going to wait till we go back to the other gang.
Yeah.
I do like how this is how Disc 2 starts. I guess it could be looked as a slap in the face of being like, oh my god, what happened?
I think that's a very classic, dramatic tension sort of thing, where it's like, I want to know what happens, but then you have this seemingly irrelevant side story happening right away.
I like it. Kyros!
But I think it still works. Like, I kind of make fun of this plot. I think it's just a big mess, but there's some like cool moments for sure. And I think the beginning Laguna stuff is pretty cool before, like, I don't know, it just seems to run out of steam.
Yo, this bar looks awesome.
Yeah.
It looks like a bar in a church, which I'm certain someone's done that at some point. We bought out an old church and made it into a brewery. Come try our holy hops. I got nothing. The end. What? Thanks for watching, guys.
So
I'm just not gonna say anything. Oh.
Yep.
How's Ward doing? He does not talk anymore.
Yeah, it's been a year since the last Laguna flashback. Laguna just said he was bedridden for 6 months because literally all his bones are broken. And he's been living here for 6 months.
Where am I?
Don't ask about Julia right in front of Rain.
So Rain found him and nursed him to health or whatever?
Yeah, I suppose that's what happened. And then Rain has, I don't know if it's her daughter, but she has Elle, or Ellone, the girl that we see later in the future, who has the plot important powers that make no sense.
Future! Yeah, if you're remembering back, she was in the very, very beginning of the game when Squall was in the infirmary, and she goes something like, "Oh, you're here."
Yeah, and we also save her in the
yes.
the training ground.
Yes. But so this is how you can tell that it's in the past.
I think the fairies are here. And it's really cool that Laguna is like fully aware of when Squall and gang are like kind of messing with stuff.
It does confuse me a little bit, but also I like it.
Elle's powers are literally time travel based, so it is like affecting the past very minorly. Although they figure out that the powers themselves are very they can't really change the past because they're very passive. It's like you can see the memories of people that you know, but you really can't like influence like a whole ton. Alright, I think I'm just doing that.
I guess that's cool. And I guess
But
that would be the type of time travel that wouldn't destroy the world.
Yeah, but Ultimecia wants Elle's powers because she can go back to the past because she's in the future right now. But she needs to take control of Elle so she can go to the past, like, even further and then really, like, mess up with time and then start time compression, which is a concept that makes absolutely no sense to me.
Oh, yeah. So, this is probably a stupid question, but is there a story reason why there's monsters? Because, like, for instance, in FF9, it's because of the mist. And in FF7, I assume it's all because of, like, Midgar and...
Well, in this game, do you remember the moon, like, FMV sort of thing?
Oh, yeah.
All the monsters literally originate from the moon, and they do this, like, big, huge event where they...
That's right.
So
that is the story reason.
Yeah.
Okay. I do kind of like how they give story reasons for that, you know?
But yeah, I think it's called, like, a lunar cry. I forget already.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But they, like, pour into Earth, like, by the tens of thousands. It's such a ridiculous event.
Well, it's funny, because in a game like Saga Frontier, a lot of the stuff you fight is, like... I don't know how to put this. Based in reality. Yeah, like, you fight, like, hamsters and birds and bats and stuff like that. So it's like, oh, okay. Like, I know some of the stuff is more monster-based, but it doesn't beg the question as much as, like, in a Final Fantasy game where it's like, hey, why are there monsters outside of this sleepy little town? If Trevor didn't have Encounter None on, you would have had to fight, I don't know, 3, 4, or 5
Oh yeah,
fights,
there's a funny dialogue coming up because we fought nothing.
But yeah, I kind of like that when they give that reason. FF9's was so easy because it was just like, the mist. Except for you still fought monsters when there was no mist, but I guess it was... because the mist was there. Maybe there's still monsters out there.
Is it the live stream in FF7, or is it just...
I would say it's probably Mako, right? Like, it's all
messing with the
Mako.
Mako, I guess. So.
Because Midgar pulls live stream to make it into Mako from everywhere, right? And I assume that there's just, like... It's kind of like a nuclear reactor, where, like, if they have a 3 Mile Island kind of thing, it's like, oh, that made 1 billion monsters, now they're everywhere.
And I guess, I mean, Shinra was experimenting on humans with Mako, like, transforming them into monsters.
Yeah.
And I guess the end result of that could have made more, but I don't know.
I would assume that's probably it.
You're back!
I haven't played FF10 in a million years, so I don't know if there's a reason for that one.
It's because of Sin.
Right. You could literally explain anything because of Sin.
Yeah. The reason why they have to halt... I've exterminated 0 monsters!
Alright, thank you.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that Final Fantasy X has, like, a concept like Sin, which is both, like, very simple, but also changes the entire world forever. Like, they can't advance their technology too much or Sin comes back. All the monsters exist because of Sin. Summoners have to do their pilgrimage and temporarily kill Sin for 10 years just for that brief peace of mind. So it's a very simple, cool concept. Whereas FF8 is a very convoluted, it not makes a whole lot of sense concept.
Any medieval type Final Fantasy, like 1, 2, 3, 12, I'm guessing. The whole reason for monsters is it's medieval.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, it's medieval, there's dragons, and there's Game of Thrones stuff, and whatever, like, who cares? It's more of if it's, like, in current times, or in future times, where you're like, why are there monsters?
Oh boy, here we go.
Hey! Where's Squall? How's Lagoon doing? Oh, he's, Ward.
Yeah. So the convenient thing is that Zell was shadowing Ward, who is now a janitor in the very place we're at right now.
Convenient.
Although Zell, being incredibly stupid, doesn't understand that until the last second.
Did he just sit on Quistis' lap?
Yeah.
Did he? Hey girl, don't mind me. Bam! I will admit one thing about Zell. He's got some nice shoes. I like those shoes. I would wear those shoes.
Whenever I see Zelda design, I just instantly think of the bouncer boxer.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what that guy's name is called, but it's so obvious that the bouncer is just a variant on the Zelda design.
The jorts gotta go. The shirt seems okay. It looks like something Guy Fieri would wear.
Yeah, it's like Guy Fieri. He has fingerless gloves. He has like George.
Yeah, like not even John Cena jorts. Like literally George Cards Next Door jorts that go like down to his cankles.
Yeah, they're like just like 8 inches too long.
That just as someone who's worn, I'm actually wearing jean shorts right now. They're cut off ones. I will say that's a very interesting choice for someone who like fights hand to hand, because like when I wear something like this, I feel very like constricted from moving. You know.
I'd almost say that Zelda design probably influenced Sora's design too, because Kingdom Hearts wasn't that much longer after this.
I could definitely see that.
So like, Nomura was just like, I love Zelda design. Let's base the bouncer and Sora off of him.
And then you got Squall, who like.
All right, so we're already getting to it. I challenge Edea, my wound, no wound. How? So they're referencing how ridiculous it is that he's alive, but they just kind of they don't give any actual answer for why Squall's alive.
I'm gonna wait a little bit before I go into the conspiracy theory, just so we can see like a little bit more.
This place is so cool.
What does this remind me of? It almost like a. It's not exactly. It's something on the tip of my mind, but like almost like a Matrix thing. Like you know how like in the actual Matrix when they're in those pods and stuff, it's kind of like that. And weren't both of these 1999?
Oh yeah, you're right.
So obviously one wouldn't have like taken off the other because they were both in development. Doesn't matter really what came out first. Mean guy. Shut up! Don't screw around with me. You understand who's in charge here?
Come on, Zell, your entire thing is that you can beat people up with your fists. I guess they do have guns.
Yeah, and I don't know if in this universe if it's like, oh no, a gun. You know, like, are they human? Or are they dancers?
I imagine that every game, every JRPG like this, guns are incredibly lethal in canon, but it's just gameplay to be like, oh, guns do, like, Cloud gets shot by...
like the first enemy.
An enemy, and it takes like 7.
Yeah.
It's like, nope.
Yeah, I think outside of battle, in general with these, guns are like real life, like actually lethal.
In FF7 Remake, Cloud and everyone else doesn't take a single bullet in cutscenes.
Ooh, that's cool. That's, it makes a lot of sense. Man, I'm like, oh.
Squall, you're pitiful. Except that you lost. Cypher, you lost against Squall. You only won because you have everyone with you.
I wish I could just literally throw someone by holding their head and just throwing their entire body weight. I wish I was that strong.
Okay, so Squall's crucified right now.
Snake? Snake! Code name.
Question mark?
Are you kidding me? Like, isn't, like, in this universe, even if you're being, like, super nice on time, Squall was a seed for, like, a month? And probably less, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, he instantly was like, alright, your first thing you have to do is go out and essentially do this quest. So it's like, tell me the secret to seed. It's like, even if they, like, I'm, like, the lowest ranked seed for a month. Why would I know?
Yeah, and he goes to Timber and then Delene City on train. So they, like, went the fastest way possible. I'd be surprised if even a single week passed.
Yeah, and I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. But just imagine, like, they, like, I don't know. Like, in real life, like, North Korea gets an American private, right? And they're like, tell us the president's secrets. And it's like, what? I'm literally a private in the army. I'm a grunt. What do you think I know? Tell us the launch codes for...
Give me the codes!
Is that a snake thing?
I was trying to do the Christian Bale thing.
Oh! What does he actually say? Where is it?
Where's the... I don't remember what he says.
Is it the bomb?
Where's the bomb? It's so hard to do that voice.
I don't even think it's bomb. It's, yeah, what is... It was like a detonator.
Yeah.
Where is it? Where's my girlfriend?
Oh, the Moombas.
So...
There's no use.
Yo! Who do you think you are? Yeah, you big meanie. Well, my name is Mean Guy.
Hey, big drip. Where you going?
So these Moombas are mentioned specifically by name in the conspiracy theory, which I don't know. Should I go into it now?
Yeah, I guess we should talk about it.
All right. So this is stupid, and I will say I don't agree with it, but like this is
the entire theory is just a cope for why this story.
That's what I was gonna say. That's very well put. The entire theory is just mental gymnastics to be like, no, it's actually good. The series called Squall's Dead, and you can look it up right now. It's a website that still exists. I looked it up 10 minutes before we started. Squall's, not Squall is, squallsdead.com. And essentially, it's a conspiracy theory that Squall was killed by the sorceress, icicle through him, at the end of last part.
Yeah, and Disc 2 onwards is all a dream.
And essentially, yeah, in Disc 2, everything is all a dream. And essentially, there's just a couple major parts. The first is that the story from Disc 1, the story for the most part, in Final Fantasy terms, is pretty based in reality.
Yeah.
It's like, military-wise, yeah, there's monsters, yeah, there's whatever, but it's like military-wise, it's almost like a military-type game. And starting here and moving on forward, it just gets, like, wacky. So they mention how Squall doesn't have a wound from the icicle, which, why would they even mention that in game? Why wouldn't he just be like, oh my god, I have a scar, it's been 2 weeks, whatever.
Yeah, like Squall in one text box is like, my wound, how? And then they just completely drop. They never explain
They could have literally been like, how has my wound healed already, right?
Like, Cypher
but he could have been like, there's this huge scar right here,
yeah.
right? And Cypher could have came in and said, you've been out for 3 weeks, you idiot, right? Like, who cares, right? You could have easily just explained it away with that. I mean, it's Final Fantasy rules, so he could be like, Cypher could come in, like Trevor said, and said, you were on the brink of death, but I kept you alive just so I could see you die, or something like that.
Be grateful, the sorceress used Karaga on you. It's like...
There you go, whatever. I mean,
right.
Selphie just drew Cure off of somebody. So yeah, that's mentioned. These Moombas are specifically mentioned because there's nothing really like these.
Yeah, there's like monsters, but there's no like friendly, like sorta sentient creatures like this. They just come out of nowhere.
They mention I don't want to give it away because it's probably the coolest part in the game, but something behind the scenes in Balam Garden as one of the reasons.
We might do that today.
Cool. But essentially it's just a cope for the rest of the story does not make sense, or at the very least is very wacky compared to the very beginning. One of the big parts of it, I didn't read the whole thing because I've read it before, but scanning over it, is Renoa does pretty quickly change her mind on Squall. Like, at no point was she ever like, she wasn't like mean to Squall, but she was never like, oh, I kind of like him.
Yeah,
I think pretty quickly changes.
So
me
replaying this entire game, I do think that the relationship between Renoa and Squall, like Renoa is a little bit more like warm to Squall, but I don't think that she's like super infatuated yet. And actually, Squall still finds Renoa annoying until like this 3.
Based.
And I remember it being like much more abrupt, but it definitely isn't. Oh, do I go up?
Okay, well that's good at least.
But there's a certain point in Disc 3 where Squall changes, like, out of nowhere, where he becomes obsessed with Renoa, and it's just like, what happened?
And you've obviously replayed that again,
yeah.
So even replaying it, you're like, what is this?
Yeah, like, Squall becomes completely enamored with Renoa. I don't want to spoil what happens, but Renoa's, like, out of the party for a while. And, like, that, like, just ruins Squall. And it's like, why?
Like, nothing else really bothered him before. Oh, that's right. I was like, why aren't you just fighting? I completely forgot this. If you're just joining us, this is an initial level run.
Yep.
So, any normal enemies, if he can't run away, he has to break, which essentially is stone, and if you stone them, you don't get experience.
Yep. And any forced human encounter, there's two ways that we can get past forced encounters. We can break human enemies, which petrifies them, so we don't get anything. And if they're a monster, but specifically not a boss monster, we can card them. And carding enemies don't give experience either.
Hey, it's lucky that Zell was the one who went out, the one who doesn't need a weapon because his weapon's his fists. Let me sleep.
And there's certain things that, like, it really makes Squall's Dead, the theory, seem a little convincing. Because there's points in Disc 1 where Squall is, like, questioning what a seed is, what the purpose is. Like, there was an inner monologue he did right in front of Caraway's mansion of being like, what's going on? Why are we, like, conspiring with the Galbadia Garden? Like, what's the benefit of this? And the idea of Squall trying to rationalize the idea of seed and their mission, and how the sorceress, like how it works and what their purpose is, like, it sounds like a good idea to someone that's just, like, rationalizing it on the point of death. But when you think about it, it's like, it's so stupid. Like, the ultimate, like, plan behind all the seeds in the gardens. It's like, really? That's the reason?
Right.
It really is just a cope for just being like, oh, the story sucks.
100%. Also, I just realized that Quistis has a very unnecessary, like, tiny bit of midriff showing, like, on her belly.
Unnecessary.
I never, well, I mean, considering it's, like, it's not like she's wearing, like, a tube top or something like that.
Yeah.
It's, like, just the little tiny bit right at the belly button, which is, like, okay, JRPGs. There's a reason I don't play, JRPGs that are, like, super Japanese or super, like, I don't know, Japanese schoolgirl kind of thing. it's not what I like. Yeah, if you do encounter none and half, you actually, you have a 50% chance of not fighting bosses.
That'd be so stupid.
It's so dumb. Doom!
No, I don't think I
do it for Invader Zim. Doom!
I can't do that.
We've. I don't know if everyone out there in YouTube land is gonna be like worst parent award, but me and the kids have been watching Invader Zim, and they like it pretty good. I forgot that it's actually a pretty good show.
It's a good show. I just wish it wasn't so gross.
It is gross. I will agree with that. But overall, I mean,
it really is, like, just the one thing. It's like, I hate this so much.
Yeah. No, I agree. It is gross. And it's one of those things. It's kind of like Nightmare Before Christmas, where it's like so kind of like overvalued by like a certain demographic. The demographic that would like Nightmare Before Christmas, like, way too much. You know, that kind of demographic. Which everyone knows someone like that in their lives. But the show itself is still super good. It's just like, I used to always hate on Nightmare Before Christmas. And then Luna was obsessed with it for a couple years, and we watched it so many times, and I'm like, yo, that movie's super good. It's one of those movies where it's, like, literally maybe 90 minutes long, probably less, and it just, like, jam-packs so much in it. And it's so memorable, and Oogie Boogie rules. To the point where I'm like, you know, whatever, I don't care. I'll like it.
Right, sorry for floundering.
It's all over.
We're good.
Yes, this is it.
Whenever you have these...
Oh, man A and man B, I wonder who they could be.
Whenever they have the story moments where they unjunction everything off of everyone, it really is annoying.
Yeah, that is. Especially with all the, like, time it takes.
Yeah. And so you can't even do, like, the switch mechanic because everything is unjunction off of everyone.
What?
So this is the Biggs and Wedge fight. I'm pretty sure that this one doesn't give any experience. Yeah, you definitely can't break Biggs and Wedge.
But yeah, I've watched, yeah, do something.
Mighty Guard. Mighty Guard actually isn't that great in this game. The buffs that you get are kind of random. Sometimes you get Protect Shell and Haste, and then sometimes you get Float and something else. Oh yeah, her stupid Limit Break sucks.
Why? Oh, but yeah, the only last thing I have to say about Invader Zim is,
Ooh, a regen ring.
You like ice cream. You like ice cream. You love it. Me and Ferris have been pretty much saying that. And that's from the very first episode. I just love it. They land on a, Zim and, Dib.
So this is one of the reasons why, Zell is probably the second best or best character in the game. If you know what you're doing with that duel mechanic, you can just do attack after attack after attack after attack.
Is there a certain way it flows?
Yeah, you can predict what is happening next. It depends on what weapon magazine or arms master magazines. I think that's what they're called. You unlock more stuff. But a lot of times you just want to go between Beat Rush and Booyah, because they're like really like just like two inputs you can do over and over.
So you can probably get it to.
But the reason I actually don't use Zell at all. Even my my later party is Squall, Renoa, and Irvine. Because Irvine is just like a way simpler limit break where I don't have to use pinpoint millisecond reactions. Zell might be the best, but like he is just really annoying to use actually.
Do they explain why they say Laguna? You don't have to say why. It's just do they explain it how based?
That's another reason why they're like Squall's dead.
It'd be cool if they explained that.
So if you go down the floor, we have to go to the top floor, but if you go down to the bottom floor, there's actually one of those armed magazines I was talking about.
Imagine how annoying this would be without Encounter 9.
It'd be awful. And sometimes you can go straight over here, sometimes you can't.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll probably see a situation where you can.
There's also some stuff inside the rooms that aren't just floor 1. There's actually some guys that like play triple triad, and some of the triple triad guys in here can use like level 6 and 7 cards, which up to this point we have not seen.
Wow.
Oh, Combat King, that's what it's called. So we learned the Dolphin Blow now, which is a good move. I guess I feel.
No potions. Now just go that whole way back up. Oh no, wait. Can you go back down? Oh, that's so annoying. Why would they do? They just did that to be annoying.
Yeah, and there's no consistency. Like sometimes you can do it, sometimes you can't. But most often than not, of course, you can't. Whoops.
Alright, so that's 2 and 3 you couldn't. 4 maybe you can.
But thank God for ×3 and no encounters.
Oh. Yeah, I think it's visibly shorter.
Oh, is it like visibly different?
I think so. They just decided there's none.
Thanks for giving my salary while I'm in prison. How do you do that?
Huh. I do remember somewhere you could do it. At least I
don't know.
I think I remember.
The weird thing about the...
This one's shorter. Yeah, there you go.
The weird thing about
that one's shorter.
Yep. I think I know what you're talking about. Oh, it has a physical barrier. Okay, I never saw that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's a barrier you can actually see.
Which it's like, okay, why have any of them do it then? Like, why just, at this point, it's just, what was it, 6 and 7 or 7 and 8?
And, like, they're literally just reusing the same, like, PNG backgrounds for this.
Right. Understandable, because it's a prison, but still, like, bruh. This prison, in a weird way, reminds me of the Silent Hill 4 prison, just because it was kind of built in, like, a big cylindrical kind of thing. I know, I'm very much stretching at that point, but also, Silent Hill 4. It exists.
So, actually, now that I think about it, so in the last Laguna flashback, when you're in Esther, Laguna befriends a Moomba there, and presumably the Moomba gets out. I mean, you see the Moomba get out, and I guess, like, all the friends just understand, or they just pick up that word, because he starts saying Laguna in that flashback, so I guess that's it.
Huh.
What?
You know, Laguna. So he literally, those, you have to go back down again? Because he said make shortcut, like, on the floor.
I have no idea what that option was for.
It moves the barrier, I would guess.
Oh, okay.
You pick 10, so if on floor 10 it doesn't have that, then that would be it. Is this the part where there's a auto death, or an auto death thing? Okay. I always remember that because stuff like that always scares me. I remember Ward doing this. Show, don't tell.
In the remaster, there's a continue option, so if you, like, die to something stupid, there's usually auto-saves every single, like, screen transition.
Oh, wow, that's cool. Fine. I can't believe the game's almost over.
Hi, Isel.
Zell's stuck. Zell's dead. Squall's dead. Everyone's dead.
Oh, yeah. And?
Let's check it out. No! Ah, yes. Wonderful switching again. This game does switch characters quite a bit.
Yeah, and we're going to be splitting up our party into 2 in, like, 2 seconds.
Are you sure?
What was that?
Zell!
Get the move on, Squall.
No, you gotta nod. Oh, in this game that I'm playing,
Oh, right. I should not have done that.
There's one of those moments where, the main character says, explain what's going on, and the other person says, I don't have time to explain, which is, like, always one of my most hated things.
It's awful.
In
the
media.
Worst trope.
That's my only complaint with the game so far. It's a random horror game for the PS5, which I've been trying to get into more of them. Die.
Oh yeah.
Nothing personal, kid. Well, he looks like just a normal guy with a mustache. You think he's like a normal guy with a gun?
He has a gun, I guess. A balk.
Squall's like, I didn't think he'd go down that easily. What? He's just like a normal dude. You just sliced him with a blade that's also a gun.
What? Shut up, Selfie. It's called being a leader.